percent of the photos that we get that say, you know, I've captured a ghost on camera. What it is it's just dust refraction. If you take a picture with a digital camera or have a video camera up, that video camera is able, and/or picture is able to see very minute things. And of course, if you have a flash, it's going to reflect off the nearest object.
Or IR light.
Or IR light will reflect off the nearest object. And in some cases, it can be dust. And this is the result. They're actually just light refractions of dust particles.
Okay. The general rule about those orbs and stuff is there's no distinct border, right?
There's no, there's a border, but no distinct like outline. And sometimes you can see an outline, but I mean, when I say distinct, I mean it's really fine, really fine cut.
You can see the edge.
Yeah.
Do you have any more slides you want to show at this time, or do you want to?
Well, I could show. We could show the places we've been.
We can go with the history too.
Yeah,
let's show a couple of historical photos of the paranormal.
Yeah, we brought two historical photos in.
We can pull them up. The first one is what is famously known as the Brown Lady. It was taken in 1936 in a hall in England. It was taken for a photo shoot for Country Living magazine, and to this day it has been unable to be disproved. King George was the first one to report this brown lady entity in the early 1700s. 1800s, sorry. So it is historical, and this is what basically was pushing and driving a lot of people.
This was the very first photo captured of an apparition.
Of an apparition. And the second photo we have.
Second photo
is a group of seamen, and they're English seamen. And this picture was taken on the day of a funeral. One of the seamen was an aircraft mechanic on aircraft carrier and got killed by an aircraft propeller. So on that day they were burying him at sea, and the whole crew got together for a memento for that person's family. And if you see the group there, you can see that it's a normal shot, but on the inset you'll see a face to the left-hand side or the right-hand side facing the picture of the individual that had died.
Yeah, that was the day, and he was buried at sea, and the guy's name was Freddie Jackson, and it was during World War I. It was like 1916, I believe.
Yeah.
It was 2 days before. That's when he passed. But that photo, again, being as old as it was, scientists have looked at it and looked it over like crazy, and they to this day cannot explain it.
And the only process that was available back during the 30s and during the 10s, the early 1900s, was double exposures, and it was even available in the 1800s. They did it with Lincoln and stuff. But that is sort of, it shows itself when it's being analyzed by scientists. And to this day, these two photographs are what is the golden, I guess, the holy grail of paranormal.
And I could we could show the pictures also of places that we've been. We have those too. If
you why don't you go there?
Yeah, we kind of have a little slideshow for this, so it might be a little quick when I explain this. So this is the Spalding Inn. This was one of our very first investigations. We did this with ghost hunters Jay and Grant. That is the 40th and Allen Chapel in Colchester, Vermont. And this is a one in Maine that we did. It was on A&E's Paranormal State. That is the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's another shot of the inside of the penitentiary. This is Rockwood Mansion in Wilmington, Delaware. And this is Fort Mifflin. This is the outside in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We did the entire fort. That is the USS Salem in Quincy, Massachusetts. We've done that ship. This is the Blue Paddle Bistro in South Hero, Vermont. That's one of our most active, I think. Those are some of the places we've been. Now, we've done a lot of residential, and we don't really show pictures of residential homes because of privacy concerns. And that's, we've been getting a lot more residential lately.
We do like the big ones, like the Salem, USS Salem, Fort Mifflin, and Eastern State. we utilize that because they're known hauntings, and they have been for years, and it sort of helps us hone our skills. And we learn a lot of different things by going there and see our mistakes, and so we can improve upon it. But we do get activity too, because it's known to have activity. And like Fort Mifflin was a revolutionary fort that stayed off the British and actually helped win the war. And they let us sleep in there overnight and do all our stuff. Well, just after National Geographic was there, right?
Yeah, National Geographic
Well,
was there
fact,
too.
yeah.
Film.
So it's quite interesting. We get to go to quite a lot of historical spots.
Where do you see your group in about 10 years from now?
Personally, me, I see us being one of the go-to groups for New England. You know, a lot of people get into ghost hunting because they want to be on TV. While yes, I would love to have a show, I'm not actively striving for that. If that happens, great. But I would go into it, you know, more for the educational side of it as opposed to, you know, the entertainment side. I would love for us to be able to be the go-to people for, you know, known locations, known hauntings, help with the history of the place, but also if anyone has a problem to come out to us and also be called for on other cases just because of reputation. That's where I see us personally in 10 years.
Yeah, and that's what we strive for, is just to be, we're mainly a New England-based team, but we will go outside of New England if we're asked and it's feasible.
What do your friends and family think about what you're doing?
We could ask you that.
And we see how you feel.
Dad is silent.
Well, you know, my wife will support me in anything I do. She supports me in my horror writing, and she supports me in my career, chosen career. She might not totally believe in it, but she doesn't have any explanations to the evidence she's heard. So yeah, some people might say I have a loose screw, you know, but
We get that.
some of my parents might think that.
We get that often. I know for myself, like my kids love it. My kids think it's the coolest thing, and my daughter, we took them to Fort Delaware, and she's walking around saying, "If there's anyone here, show yourself." You know, she's really gung ho about it. My son, he thinks it's really cool, but I mean, a lot of friends, a lot of coworkers, believe it or not, find it very intriguing when we go to places and someone knows or finds out that, you know, that we're ghost hunters, and of places we've done, we either get asked, you know, well, what have you seen or whatever, or then we get into a whole story, and sometimes we can't eat because we get you know, bombarded with like an hour-long story of stuff that they've experienced, and people open up so much more. You kind of get your jeers, but those are mainly from skeptics. And
But most of the time we get, can we join? Can we go?
can we join? I want to go. I would like to experience
I
it.
mean, usually we like to do investigations separate from the people who are claiming the activity, or the homeowner or the business owner, but they're also intrigued in what we do and how we do it, so they always want to participate at some level, and we try to accommodate most of them for part of the investigation. And in some places, the activities are directly attached to the people who are there, who are living there or work there. And we will go in as a team and get nothing, bring them in, and it'll go all crazy. So,
What do you consider your best case in terms of activity and or helping the client?
I think this basically goes back to our best case. I believe would be the Northampton, Massachusetts residents. They were petrified. They were being choked. They could not get out of. They couldn't get out of, like, they were watching TV. They would be pinned down to their chair. They couldn't move. They couldn't breathe. They couldn't even scream out for help. Scratches on a young boy with no explanation at all, and just living in fear for so long. And then we finally were able to get in there, document a lot of things, go meet up with John Zaffis, and show him some of our this evidence that we've captured. We captured some pretty weird things, but him coming in and helping the family, giving that family the peace of mind, to me, and especially since they haven't had any activity since, that's been the most rewarding, I think, for the entire team, really.
yeah, because we're in this to help people, and that's why we're nonprofit. We know a lot of people can't afford professional services and stuff, and we want to help those who need the help. And
Well, we bring it to my last question here. How can people who are or know someone who is experienced unexplained activity in their residence or business contact you for investigation? How can they get a hold of you?
We have a website, www.cvghosthunters.com. And on that website, there's an option for contacting us, and they could put in their contact information, write their experiences if they want. We would give them a call and try to, get some more information from them, set up an interview with them, and to explain our process. They give us a good idea of where things are occurring.
get releases signed.
Get releases signed, figure out a date and time that's good for an investigation. That is the best way. Again, it's www.cvghosthunters.com, and that would be the place. A lot of people put requests up on Facebook for us to come out. We don't do that. We prefer you not to do that because it's private to you and us, so the whole world can see that. So if you go to cvghosthunters.com, you'll be able to we'll be able to contact you. Again, we don't charge anything. It's 100% free. If you want to give a donation, that's fine. People have asked us in the past if they can, and yeah, we completely would, but it's not necessary. If you want one, we could do it. If it's reasonable within the amount of distance we have to travel, we can definitely be able to accommodate. Like I said, we have about six investigations lined up, and that's going to take us almost into June. But if there's any emergency type cases, obviously we would review that and take it into account and see from there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you have a phone number? You keep talking about the website. What if somebody doesn't have a computer and they want to call you?
Okay. Well, you could give a call to 802-497-4744. Again,
or even 802-233-5669.
Either one of those will get Champlain Valley Ghost Hunters, and that way, if you don't have access to the web, that would be getting us in person. We prefer the web only because, like I said, we kind of have personal lives, and in the past, we did have an incident involving someone contacting us directly to the phone number, and it was quite unnerving. So if you have to use the phone, great. Preference the web.
And one more time, your number?
Once again, it's 802-497-4744.
And mine is 802-233-5669. I do want to talk about, since we're here in Springfield and this being my hometown, I'm born and raised, there's a couple places here we're highly interested in. You didn't ask us about any places.
I haven't got that far.
Oh, okay. Okay. You want to ask, or do you want me to go on?
Well, I was just going to ask you, is there any places in this area that would seem intriguing to you or interesting to you that you'd like to investigate?
Yeah, the woman that's done the article on us in the Springfield Reporter, Donna Cummins.
Donna Cummings, yes.
Wonderful woman. She's very kind, very helpful. She told us of the Miller Art Center.
Miller Art Center? Okay.
She's been up there several occasions for functions, and it's known to have activities of footsteps, doors, lights going on and off. The second place, of course, the Holy Grail for Springfield would be the Hartness House.
Hartness House, okay.
Well known. If you go on the internet and look up haunted places in Vermont, the Hartness House will show up. The other place would be a old cement factory that was located in the North Springfield area. I've been told that it's turned into a town garage now, but
well, not a town garage, it's a private.
Is it a private garage? Just because you change what goes on in the building, you don't change what is in the building. Right. So those are the three places that we would really like to
How about an old school?
Oh, the Park Street School would be awesome too. I mean, we would love access to that.
So if there's anybody out there that has any kind of a contact with any of these buildings, or would like to have these people come down,
would love to hear from them.
You'd love to hear from them.
Definitely.
And Nicholas was telling you about how we're booked up until June, and 1st of May we're doing, which was a